If you've ever been to CityWalk at Universal Studios Orlando, you may have noticed a large white seaplane sitting in the lagoon in front of Jimmy Buffett's Margaritaville. Most people probably just walk on past it, not giving it a second thought. Others might sit in the shade of one of its wings while having a cold cocktail at the bar underneath it. And a few others still might even think it's just an elaborate prop and not realize it's a real airplane. But not only is it a real plane that really is owned and flown by Jimmy Buffett, this plane was once involved in a pretty high-profile international incident that involved two rock stars that went on to be called the Jamaica Mistaica. The plane is a Grumman HU-16 Albatross flying boat that was built in 1955 and used by the U.S. Navy for long-range search and rescue missions, but was eventually retired and then purchased by Jimmy Buffett in 1990, who restored it and renamed it the Hemisphere Dancer. The plane is actually a pretty big piece of Jimmy Buffett lore. It was featured prominently in his autobiography, A Pirate Looks at 50, and in his fictional novel, Where's Joe Merchant? On January 16, 1996, Jimmy Buffett was flying the plane to Negril, Jamaica as part of his tour of the Caribbean. Also on board was Bono of U2, Bono's wife and 3 kids, and music producer Chris Blackwell. The plane safely made a water landing, but while it was taxiing along to its destination, the plane was suddenly pierced with a hail of bullets fired by Jamaican authorities who mistook the plane for one that belonged to drug smugglers and decided to shoot first and ask questions later. Fortunately, nobody on board was injured, but the incident left the plane with some bullet hole damage. The Jamaican government issued a formal apology to both Buffett and Bono for what had happened. Bono later described the incident to the Belfast Telegraph, saying, "These boys were shooting all over the place. I felt as if we were in the middle of a James Bond movie, only this was real. It was absolutely terrifying, and I honestly thought we were all going to die. Thank God we were safe and sound. My only concern was for their safety. It was very scary, let me tell you. You can't believe the relief I felt when I saw the kids were okay." Jimmy Buffett would later recount the incident in his 1996 song, Jamaica Mistaica. "They shot from the lighthouse, they shot from the highway, they shot from the top of the cliff. They'd all gone haywire, we're catching fire, and there wasn't even a spliff. When I was here, I asked one of the bartenders if they knew where the bullet holes were and if you can still see them. He came over and pointed to this area underneath here that's since been patched up, but that patchwork does look like it's starting to crumble a little bit these days." So that's the wild, true story of the Hemisphere Dancer at Universal CityWalk. Let me know in the comments if you knew about this story and if you've ever seen the plane in person, or if you've ever just hung out at the Lone Palm Airport bar that's just beneath it. And remember to subscribe, and I'll see you next time.